Y'all, it's your man Abuamerican. This is a response video to Square Peg. He's asking me, in response to my video, what's the incentive of women to come to logic and reason and to back up, save society? And I thought about this a lot because there was this guy on that very video. He kept on posting comments and deleting them, and every time I wanted to respond, they were deleted. And I had the craziest thing. I had a back and forth debate monologue with myself in this room, and I came to the conclusion that he's right. There is no incentive to women to come to the table and come back to logic and reason. I don't even think they're capable of it. It's just goofy. I guess you could say it was a brief momentary wishful thinking, dreaming moment. They're not going to do it. They can't do it. Yeah, man, society is toast, and it is what it is. You just got to prepare, man. Invest in bullets and food and gold. What else are you going to do, man? When's that collapse going to come? How's it going to be? What's it going to look like? Hopefully it'll just be some sort of soft collapse where it's just there's an instant changeover and the dollar standard disappears across the world and everybody's using Bitcoin. Or something like this. We can hope. But it's definitely going to change. We see the changes happening already in society with the rise of the alt-right and these new ethnic arguments and discussions. We are in a bad position in general. We always have been as men of color. When I'm speaking like this, as men of color. And this doesn't preclude white guys, of course, entirely. This doesn't exclude them. But in terms of living in the West, they are in a long-term scope of things, they are on team win because, the West is always going to be a white patriarchy. So, yeah, there's no incentive. This is just wishful thinking on my part. This is the dream. I could wish and hope based, and that dream was based upon what? Me just being dismayed at the world that my children are going to inherit, So that's just honest to goodness, raw truth, man. So, hey, let me go into another topic real quick, Square Peg. I was watching your video on Brotherhood, and unfortunately I didn't get to finish it. I probably should have finished it before I started making this video. I'm going to have to go back and finish it, but just on the initial thing on this video, bro, man, I feel you, bro. Sometimes I burn out and I don't make videos for weeks. You guys might see that, sometimes I'll disappear days, weeks at a time and I won't make content. And it is hard to keep up sometimes. But in terms of Brotherhood, man, I think it's out there. It's just very, very, very rare, I got an exceptionally small circle of real world brothers, and online brothers is even smaller, So, in terms of content creators, high-fiving each other and hooking each other up. I made a Patreon account for the first time yesterday. It's not even finished. I went on there and I was just man, this is crazy. Because you said, we're people and we need stuff. I got this right here, what you're watching with this thing that moves with me. This is the JDI Osmo Mobile. And I just got it. I got a little light over here, whatnot, because one person was talking about the light in my videos is too dark and whatnot, and I got a little tripod. Although I got most of the stuff used, it cost me a pretty penny. And I was thinking, I'm just doing this for people who just want to see my videos look better. And it's costing me out of my pocket. Now, I got it, and I said to myself, hey, it was worth it because I just got a promotion at my job. I'm coming back on track. You were talking about a 15-year relationship. I came off of a 24-year relationship that went bad, bro. 24 years, man. Half my life. I'm 45. I'm actually 44. I turned 45 this month, but I keep saying 45. And, man, it hurt me financially, economically. I lost an excellent, probably the best job of my life. I was making thousands upon thousands tax-free in the Middle East, and she made sure that I lost that, She called the IRS, told them I was a tax fraud, just all sorts of stuff that was completely unnecessary. And based upon what? Her emotional feelings of the moment, So I understand what it's like to come up off of something like that. And I also understand what it's like to make content like this, not be appreciated for it, and have to come out of pocket to buy the equipment and the hardware that you need in order to create better content. I'm thinking about getting on Fiverr just to make an intro video, because we're in generation meme and people have the attention span of a meme. And that's not to insult my viewers, it's not, but it's the reality of our times. Even I'm like that, So if it's not blingy, it's not flashy, you somehow fall, it's hard to keep up. And people demand my time. You'd be surprised at how much one-to-one coaching I'm doing in terms of relationships nowadays. I'm starting to make it a requirement now. It's like, since you people aren't paying me for my time, and I'm spending a lot of time, responding to SMSs, WhatsApps, all these messages left and right, I'm starting to make it like a thing. It's like, look, don't say that you need privacy. I need to be able to use your material on YouTube, because I'm not getting anything else from this. I monetize like 1 or 2 videos here and there. I just do it. I don't even know. It's not even, yeah. Well, anyway, bro, I feel you on this, man. And the Brotherhood, it's, that's another sign of our times. That's a part of gynocentrism eking into manhood. That they've made us as solipsistic as them. We've lost that bonding, that brotherhood bond in terms of men. When we watched the movies like 300 and all those old school Vietnam movies when I was growing up, guys bonded and united upon the necessity of survival. It's just we've lost the concept and the idea that our survival is on the line because no one's waving a sword at us or shooting bullets at us. But it's no different. Masculine men who understand their place in the world and how precarious it is, that's lost because feminists aren't out shooting missiles at us. And so that bond of brotherhood is lost. Brotherhood's out there, bro. It's just rare. It's just rare. And I think we crave it so much that we get easily disappointed when we don't find it, And I don't know. I made a bond with some dudes, in London. I don't really talk about them too much because we like to keep our stuff on the low key. But it's, I recently had a break with them over Islam and the ideology of some of these guys in the group on Islam and Muslims, which I know to be, fundamentally incorrect. But I'm still united in a different group with some of those original founding guys. And I think it's a pretty tight bond. It's rare, man. So I would say just hold on, man. Don't, I don't know if it was affecting you exactly. Personally, I need to go back and finish watching the video. But, you're saying another guy was talking about quitting making content and whatnot. And that's another thing that we've picked up from the gynocentric West that's destroying manhood is selflessness. And selflessness is just that. It's unrewarding. And that's what our content is. Anytime, I'm not trying to decry or take away from somebody, but it does detract from your message when you go into profits into it. And this is part of my coffee thing. I disconnect my coffee from here. That's part of the reason why I took down the commercial that I put up for my coffee channel, because it kind of takes away from the message. It's like trying to profit off the message. And I thought about it and I was like, nah, that's messed up, And again, people spend money, like I spent money on this equipment and whatnot. And, it's not always easy to do that from a neutral standpoint and say, I'm this altruistic, great theological, philosophical type guy, and I'm going to spend from myself in order to get my message out there. I can't say everybody's going to do that. I'm trying to do it, and it's not easy. This is why I made a Patreon account. More so for my time than it is for anything else. And not even my time on my YouTube channel, just time that I take out of my day, out of my relationships that I have with my women folk and my children and whatnot, to answer questions to help dudes with their relationships and whatnot. And I don't even know if it's appreciated. I don't think we can expect it anymore. I think once you get that brotherhood, that circle, that's your go-to. And the rest of the guys are out there. We just have to see it like, well, just like in the movie The Matrix, the red pill and the blue pill. Vast majority of people are walking around and they're actually enemies. They will damage you, just as quick as your enemy. And it doesn't have to be intentional, And you got to see every man has been some way or another compromised by gynocentrism in the 21st century, and therefore it makes him partially dangerous. I think we have been raised with one set of morals and ideas, and none of it applies anymore. This goes back to like social contract video that I made. It goes beyond women. I think it goes into interpersonal relationships between men also. And we men should know better. But we handed over the reins of power and control to women. So we have to just flip everything on its head and say, hey, you know what? This doesn't apply anymore. You know, that every man out there is potentially as dangerous as every, like, you know, crazy nutcase, false rape, abuse, allegation, crying, feminist woman, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, back to the original thing. This is coming up on 10 minutes. This is way past the length that I wanted to go. I was dreaming, bro. And, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, that was the whole premise of my entire video. They have no incentive whatsoever to come back to the table, if you will. They will, you know, and they'll try and negotiate us back onto the farm when things start to get really bad. But until then, no, there's no incentive for them to do it. It's all just a dream, man. Wishful thinking. This is your man, Abuamerican. Catch me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Dream.